Viewers, welcome back to our YouTube channel. In today's video, we are going to look at some solved examples of quadratic equations using the method of completing of squares. So, for our first example here, we have x squared minus 8x plus 6 is equal to 0. So, let's try and see if the method of factorization is going to work here. So, we have to find the factors of 6. So, for the factors of 6, we find both positive and negative factors of 6. So for the factors of 6, we have 1, 2, 3, and 6. And for the negative factors, we have negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, and negative 6. Now these numbers, if we look at these numbers, there is no way that we are going to take two, we are going to get two numbers that if we multiply the two numbers, we are getting 6. And if we add or we subtract the two numbers, we are going to get negative 8. From here, you can see that if we take 2 and 6, if we do negative 2 times negative 6, if we take negative 2 and negative 6, if we do negative 2 plus negative 6, you are going to get the negative 8. But if you do 2 times 6, you are not going to get 6. So that means that the method of factorization is not going to work here. So we are going to use the method of completing of squares to solve this particular one. To solve this, we are going to send a constant to the right hand side of the equation. So we are going to get x squared minus 8x is equal to negative 6. So after doing this, you have to ensure that the coefficient of x squared is 1. Fortunately for us, this one has the coefficient of x squared to be 1. So we move on solving. So now we are going to find half of the coefficient of x. So half of negative 8. And half of negative 8 is going to give us negative 4. So now after getting your result, you are going to square the result, add it to the left hand side of the equation, and we are also going to add it to the right hand side of the equation. So our next equation is going to be x squared minus 8x plus negative 4 squared is equal to negative 6 plus negative 4 squared. So from here, what we do is that we take x from here, we take the values or the terms that are squared, then we square all of that. So from here, we are going to x squared is squared and negative 4 is squared. So we take those terms and we square all of that. So we end up getting x. So x is squared here. The other value that is squared here is negative 4. So we are going to get x minus 4. All of this squared is equal to negative 6 plus. Now negative 4 squared is giving us what? 16. If you expand this, you end up getting whatever that is here. If you expand this, you end up getting x squared minus 8x plus negative 4 squared is 16. So if you expand this, you are going to get this. You can try it and see. So from here, we are going to get x minus 4 all squared to be equal to, now negative 6 plus 16 is going to give us 10. Negative 6 plus 16 is going to give us 10. So from here, we are going to get x minus 4 is equal to, we want to remove the square from here. So we are going to bring in square roots. So we end up getting x minus 4 to be equal to plus or minus square root of 10. So we've moved the square from here. That's why you are seeing the square root here. So our x is going to be plus or minus root 10 plus 4. So it means that we are going to get two different values for x. So our x1 is going to be, we are going to take the positive root 10. So we are going to get root 10 plus 4. Then our x2, we are going to take the negative root 10. So we end up getting negative root 10 plus 4. So you can put in these values into this equation. You can put in x is equal to root 10 plus 4, wherever you see x into this main equation, and you are going to get 0. So whenever you solve and you put your answer back into your quadratic equation and you don't get 0, it means there is something wrong with your answer. So whenever you get your answer, to prove that your answer is correct, you need to put it into the equation and make sure that you are getting 0 as your result. So that is it for this example. So for our next example, we have here 3x squared plus 4x minus 1 is equal to 0. So the first thing we are supposed to do is to send the constant to the right hand side of the equation. So from here we are going to get 3x squared plus 4x is equal to 1. Now, we need to ensure that the coefficient of x squared is 1. If it is not 1, we have to find a way to make it 1. So here, the only way that this 3 can become 1 is when we divide it by itself. So we are going to divide the whole equation by 3. So we are going to divide each term by 3, this by 3, then this by 3. So our new equation is going to be x squared plus 4 over 3x equal to 1 over 3. So now we've ensured that our coefficient of x squared is 1. Now when you are done with that, you are going to find half the coefficient of x. So half of 4 over 3 is going to give us 2 over 3, because this 2 here is going to cancel out this 4 and give us 2. Now we are going to square our result, which is the 2 over 3, and add it to the right hand side of the equation and also to the left hand side of the equation. So we are going to get 1 over, sorry. So from here we are going to get x squared plus 4 over 3x plus 2 over 3 all squared equal to 1 over 3 plus 2 over 3 all squared. If you bring this one to the right hand side of the equation, realize that it's going to cancel out this. So we've basically not done anything to the equation. We just want to write it in a form that will make solving easier, will make getting our answer easier. That's what we are trying to do here. So now this is what you've gotten. Now after getting this, you are going to take the terms that are squared, then you add those two terms, then you square all of that. So from here, the terms that are squared is x and then 2 over 3. So you are going to take this x here and then the 2 over 3 here, we'll add them and then we square all of that. So it means that you are going to get x plus 2 over 3. All of this one squared to be equal to 1 over 3 plus 2 on 3 all squared is going to give us 4 on 9. Now our next equation is going to be x plus 2 on 3 all squared equal to, we are trying to add this. So we can write this one as 3 over 9 plus 4 over 9. I'm just trying to write it in a way that will make our addition easier. So we end up getting x plus 2 on 3 all squared to be equal to 7 over 9. So I just wanted to write it so that they will get the same denominator so that I can add it easily. So I will end up getting 7 over 9. Now we are finding a way to remove the squared, and we can only do this when we introduce square root. So we are going to introduce square root here. So now it means that when this square go away, there will be a square root at the right hand side. So we are going to get x plus 2 on 3 to be equal to plus or minus square root of 7 over 9. So we'll end up getting x plus 2 on 3 to be equal to plus or minus. Now square root of 7 over 9 is the same as square root of 7 over square root of 9. So since square root of 7 is not a perfect number. So it means that our numerator now is going to be square root of 7, and square root of 9 is going to give us 3. So we can write it in this form. So now our x is going to be plus or minus root 7 on 3 minus 2 on 3. So from here we can see that we will end up getting two values of x since there is plus or minus here. So for our first value of x, we are going to get positive root 7 on 3 minus 2 on 3, which can be written as root 7 minus 2 all on 3 since they have the same denominator. And our x2 is going to be negative root 7 on 3 minus 2 on 3. So since they have the same denominator here too, we can write it as negative root 7 minus 2 all on 3. So now you can try putting these answers into our main equation, which was 3x squared plus 4x minus 1, and you are supposed to get 0. So if you put your answers into the equation and you don't get 0, it means that there is a problem, so you have to check your solution again. So that will be it for today. If you have any questions, please let us know in the comment section. Thank you and see you in the next video. Bye.